Welcome to the show, What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? The show is about survival, perseverance, and redemption.
Yes, December 4th.
Yes.
And how many years ago?
36 years.
36 years ago.
What's happening?
1980.
Blood on these streets. What's happening?
Yes.
Here
Right
in
before our eyes.
Portland, Oregon.
Grandpa used to say.
Portland, Oregon.
So then you tell me, what happened December 4th here in Portland, Oregon, 1985?
Well, it started off as a tragedy
Mm.
because families receive a phone call that they better get to the hospital because their loved one is there and you need to get there as soon as possible.
Mm.
That's the phone call we got on December the 4th in the AM. So we get to the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and my brother has been shot in the head, brain dead. And the doctor wanted to speak with my mother about would she consider giving her son's heart or donating his heart to another person that did not have very much longer to live.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother said, well, I need to speak with my father. And the doctor thought she was talking about her biological dad, Drew Van Arsdale.
Okay.
But she was talking about her heavenly father. She said, I need to go talk to my father. So they escorted her to the room. But before she got to the room,
Mm-hmm.
the answer came quick. My mom was a devout Christian, and she believed in love and God and Jesus. And her answer was yes. Take whatever my son can help another person live this life a little longer. Take whatever
Right.
you can take to use to help someone else. She said, but the only thing is my son's heart. I want to know who is going to receive my son's heart. And the doctor said, well, we usually don't do that. But in this situation, since you're asking,
Mm-hmm.
we will honor your wish. And that was done.
So then the day that Uncle was shot, from the time that he was shot, how long was it that Grandma made that decision for her then donating Uncle's heart? From the time that Uncle was shot, same day?
Yeah, it was same day. Yeah, same day.
Same day.
Within hours, because we knew. I mean, he was brain dead.
Okay.
He was shot in the heart. In the head. He was brain dead. So if you're brain dead and you're on a machine, you're a vegetable.
Okay, that's what they do when they have that word vegetable. That's what's considered vegetable because your brain is no longer breathing, or your brain no longer has oxygen.
Yeah, it's not functioning like our brain is.
Okay.
It's like it's sleeping.
Okay.
Yes.
So then Grandma got news of her son being shot. So then within that time of her now finding out that her son is now brain dead.
We were at the hospital.
You were at the hospital?
Yes. We were called.
You were called.
Because one thing, the hospital, when they call you in an emergency like that, they're not going to give you the details of what happened. They're just going to call you and tell you, you have a loved one here. They give the name. We need you to come as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for joining in to What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? I am LaShonti Turner, and I am co-hosting this podcast with my mother,
Balinda Olive Beltran. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This is a special day. It is December the 4th, 2021. And 36 years ago, my little brother, Bobby Lewis Olive, known as Bobo, I can't say took his last breath because he lived through a heart transplant. He lived inside this gentleman for 5 years. Altogether, the gentleman lived 5 years after his transplant. And it's just been a story of love from day one. Because when my mom, we were called that my brother was at Emanuel Hospital, and it was like an emergency. The family needed to get there as soon as possible. And when the family arrived, that's when we learned that my brother was shot in the head and he was brain dead. And a decision had to be made. And so the doctors asked my mother, Martha Lee Ben Arsdale, would she be willing to donate her son's heart to another person that was only given a very short period of time to live? And my mom, being the person that she was and is in my heart, my mother said, well, I need to go and talk to my father. And they said, okay. And they started escorting her to the room so that she can have the conversation with her father. But they thought she was talking about Drew Ben Arsdale, her father. But she was talking about her Heavenly Father. And the answer came real quick. As before she even entered the door that they took her to go inside and pray, she had the answer right away. It was quick. And she said, yes, if my son can help another person live longer, take whatever you can use if he's going to be able to help someone else live their life more abundantly. And so the rest is history. My brother was an amazing father, brother, son. He was an amazing man, and we miss him. And it doesn't seem like it was only 36 years ago that he's been gone. I'm saying only, but it just seems like yesterday. I can see him in my mind, and I can hear him. I can hear his voice. He's telling me, keep going, sister. This message needs to get out. The world needs to hear about this. I'm a black man, and my heart was given to a Caucasian man, and he lived a good life. He was able to do some things with my brother's heart that he wasn't able to do with the heart he was given, and that is a blessing. A heart that he was born with, excuse me. He was so thankful, and my mother treated him like that was her son. She called him son, and he said, this is mom. So it was amazing. It's an amazing love story. And to have your heart, I mean, that heart is what keep us alive. Without that heart with that red blood in there that's flowing through your veins, we would not be here. And so we want to celebrate my brother heart transplant given to another man. And if you are willing to be a donor or just read about it, see what you can do or your family can do if something ever happened to you and you're no longer going to be here, why not help somebody on your way out? Why not? Think about it. Educate yourself. You will be so thankful that you was able to help another man. What a gift. Or another person. What a gift to give.
Yeah. I mean, and then that's a lot. That's a lot. For one, how strong does a woman's heart, how strong is a woman's heart that she just got news that her son has been shot and he is brain dead. Okay, so she has that to psychologically deal with that. And then at the same token, grandma took a tragedy and she blessed a family with life.
That's right.
And it took her less than 2 hours.
Yes, from the time she got the news until the time the answer came, yes, I will donate my son's heart.
And I remember seeing the video, and that's one thing too we're gonna play that you guys will see one time once the podcast does air. We're gonna show the open heart surgery that the amazing Dr.
Albert Starr,
he performed there at
OHSU.
And then I want to say, Mom, you guys recently reached out to Dr. Starr and told him how amazing he was. And didn't you, you had an engraved plaque?
Yes. We gave Dr. Starr a plaque on the 30th anniversary of the transplant. We thank Dr. Starr for his amazing gift, because he was one of the number one heart cardiologists. I don't know if it's in the world, but I know it was in the state of Oregon.
Okay.
He's amazing. And they were preparing for the first transplant. Everything moved right along in place. My brother heart was so powerful. They just, as soon as they connected the arteries, his heart, they just had to jump it once, and it just started beating like it belonged there. It's an amazing, it will touch your heart to know that God is real. He works through us, and he expects us to do his will.
Right. And by it being his will, it's going to work out.
It's going to work out.
It's going to work out, right? Because I remember even by the surgery, and I don't even know if it's even, but it needs to be, by uncle's passing, he then became Oregon's first heart transplant donor.
That's correct.
Bobby Olive.
Bobby
Lewis Olive.
And he was also known as Bobo.
Bobo. Uncle Bobo.
Yes.
Uncle Bobo.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember he was really tall.
He was tall. Like
Taller than Muhammad.
He was like 6'4", 6'5". I'm not exactly sure, but he was tall and slim and very, very handsome. I have to say it myself. My younger brother was so handsome.
And I remember that you guys was be telling me stories about how he was little, how he had made that homemade, was it a mousetrap?
Rat trap. Yeah.
Rat trap.
Rat trap, mouse trap.
Mousetrap,
Yeah.
either way. he made a homemade one, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. He figured out how to build a box and set it up so if the mouse or the rat, whatever size it was, if it came in that box, it was going to get hung as it was grabbing for the cheese or whatever food was up in there.
Whatever was up in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old was he?
He was like 10.
Okay. So he built a trap. A rat trap, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Okay. Okay. So he was very skillful
In a lot of things.
in a lot of things.
Yes.
Okay. And then I want to say that he was number 7?
He was number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Because there's 8 of you guys.
There's 8 of us.
Okay. So it was 8 of you guys, you kiddos. And he was number 5.
He was number 5.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. And we miss him. We love him. And then to reiterate, my lovely mother. My mother will be celebrating her birthday. She would be 89 on the 7th. Her birthday was December the 7th, 1933. But my mother was an amazing, amazing woman. She loved. But I think about she had to make this decision about her son 3 days before her birthday. I believe she was only like 52 when she had to make that decision 3 days before her birthday. But my mother, she was a strong-willed woman, and she knew what she wanted in this life, and she knew what she believed in. She was no joke.
Not at all. Not at all. No joke. No. And oh my goodness. That's like a whole nother podcast, you guys, because of the fact that is grandma was, yes, 8 children. And then she took care of her grandchildren, and she had foster children. And she was a school teacher, and she was a security officer. Yeah.
And she used to go to the prisons and the juveniles to talk to the troubled children that had been locked up. She was just down there to help them out, to give them some positive, good advice on how to change their life for the better. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so December 4th, 36 years ago, was the day that we lost the physical body, the physical person, which is my Uncle Bobo. I really think that our family, first off, haven't been the same when Uncle was murdered. Uncle's heart was given, and it became a blessing, right?
Yes.
But then your brother, my uncle, he was murdered.
Yes.
And so that was hard and hurtful to do, to go be in Portland and walking, being here, and there's somebody that with their own, with their hands, they took my uncle's life.
That's true.
And I remember, stories of grandma saying that that uncle had a dream about the situation happening, he foreseen this situation, this happening, and it was very and very intuitive.
It was a nightmare that he had.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
Okay.
The nightmare was he was shot in the head by a black man, and he did not know why. And it was fatal. He dreamt that 2 weeks before his passing. And he said, "Mama, I don't want to go like that." And it didn't dawn on me until 34 years when he said he didn't want to go like that, and he did not know why that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it all makes sense because we still don't know why it happened, because the truth hasn't been told. But he said he don't want to go like that. And you know what? He did not die on December the 4th, 1985, because his heart was given to someone else. So he lived inside another human being. And his eyes was given, his cornea was given. So we don't know where else his other body parts was able to go, but he did not die. He still lives in our hearts and in our minds and through his children.
Yes, the children. Now, you're going to have to help me because I want to say that Uncle Bobo has 4.
Yes.
There is Tamisha, born. There is Malika Johnson, Olive. We also have Shannon, Olive. And we have Bobby Olive Jr.
And Tamisha is Tamisha Olive born.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Sorry, cousin.
Yeah. So he has, he even have grandchildren now.
Yep.
And I believe a few great grandchildren.
Yep.
So the family, his legacy is still
Growing.
living on. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we miss him so much.
So I took a pilgrimage to the Holy Land in September this year, and I learned that olive trees are the most resilient tree on the face of the earth. They can survive fire, drought, storms, tornadoes, hurricanes. They can be uprooted and replanted in different locations, and they survive it all. They live to be hundreds and hundreds of years old, and they are the strongest, most sturdiest, resilient tree. So go LoveThe Family.
Are you an aspiring model or actor? Let Northwest Modeling Management showcase the best version of you. Get in touch with our professional team at NW Model MGMT on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or visit our website at nwmodelmgmt.com. Looking for the next face or personality for your company? Let Northwest Modeling Management find the talent you need for your brand. Get in touch with our professional team at 503-714-9083 or visit us at 1025 Southwest Taylor Street, Portland, Oregon.
Because he was an amazing, amazing man.
Right. And I remember he was so clean. And he's a cook so good. And I remember him just being so protective over grandma and protective over you guys and protective over us. And hey, if you guys ever need anything, and if anybody's ever, call me and let me know I'm here 24 hours.
Yes.
He was always that way. And so it has this experience with you being on the board of Donate Life, Donate Life Northwest.
Yes.
Okay, you've been on the board. Ever since Uncle passed away, you've been not on the board since then, but you've been a member, you've been a volunteer.
Yes, I volunteered for the donor family group. I'm still on that group because that group, we help people that have lost their loved ones a place where they can go and talk about their loss.
Okay.
Because so many times when we lose our loved ones, we don't know where to go to talk about it. No one is really being healed over their loss to just deal. I mean, we've lost so many people, and we go to the funeral or the service, or we don't go, but we know the person have passed, and we're still grieving. We got it in our minds, but we're not doing anything with that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, what I did when my brother passed, I decided that I'm going to do something about it. That's why I started volunteering as much as I could, so to get the word out, how important it is. Because if no one gives, donate, and someone else needs it, I mean, you're not going to survive. Seriously.
Okay.
So the message is, if you can help someone, why not? And my message is to love and to do unto others as you want done unto yourself. I read an article on the internet just the other day. There was a young black girl that lived in Medford, Oregon. She was in need of a heart. I don't remember her name, but she was in need of a heart. She got that call from OHSU here in Portland, Oregon. She came to Portland. This happened in November of 2021. She came to Portland and she got her heart transplant. And she is so happy. And right now she's an advocate spreading the word how important it is to donate, because she is so thankful. Without her donor, she wouldn't be here.
Blessing.
Life.
Right.
We have to fight for our life. And it's just so important. And so I'm just so happy to be proud of this movement as far as spreading love.
Absolutely.
Letting people know how important it is to love and stop all this killing each other. Seriously.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy out there right now. I mean, children are dying unnecessarily. So when a child dies, people are grieving over this. There's so much hurt and pain, and we're bringing all this stuff on ourselves. It had to stop. It has to stop.
Right. I think maybe if we're able to dive into the root of why folks are out here upset, why folks are out here mad, why folks are out here feeling. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. It is. And a lot of people have been wronged. A lot of people have been lied to. A lot of people is hurt. A lot of people is mad. And a lot of people, they want to get revenge. And a lot of people want to be heard. So there's a whole bunch of emotions that are going on.
So what are we going to do about this?
Right. That's
what are we going to do? It's going to take each and every one of us to make a decision on how are you going to make this earth a more better, peaceful, loving place to live, because it's only going to take us individual. We can't be waiting on what somebody else is going to do. God do not want to know what you was planning on doing. He want to know, what are you doing now?
Planning on doing?
Yeah, he don't want to know what you planning on doing.
Yeah, no. Because planning on means that. Okay, come on, Mom, Mrs. B. Yeah. Planning on means that you were in the procrastination zone, and that planning on means that you're not doing anything.
You ain't done it yet. If you're planning on doing it,
right?
Yeah.
And if you are an adult, you really, at this point, come on, you know. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, hey, we got the resources, and the resources now. And the amazing thing is that there's the internet. So we know. But like I said, I do understand that there's folks out here that are upset, feelings are hurt. I get that. I understand it. Mm-hmm. We dealing here in Portland, Oregon, we dealing with folks being evicted out of their homes. We got a bunch of, homeless camps.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's, right now, whatever, it's a lot of stuff going on.
It is.
And every day just to even wake up and even be thankful for another round, another opportunity, today, to make a difference, to smile. Mrs. B's coming out with some cookies.
Everyday cookies.
Mrs. B's everyday cookies. Oh, look, hey, okay. Listen, the next time we on here, I'm going to be on here sampling some of her cookies, so that way you guys can just see the expression that's really on my face and hear the sound effects that's in my voice, where you guys are really just gonna know I'm being so serious when it comes about my mom's cookies. Okay, my mom, they're so good. And so that's another thing that we're going to be coming out with. Well, my mom not coming out with. My mom already knows how to do it. She bakes the cookies, and her daughter's going to be decorating the packages for them, and she's going to be delivering for you guys too as well. So yes, that's another thing that we are going to be doing. Our family we can cook.
Yeah.
The food
from scratch.
Oh my goodness.
From scratch.
From scratch?
If you don't know what scratch means,
tell me. Yeah.
You have a recipe, or you already know what your ingredients is, and you use your own hands. You crack the eggs.
Oh.
You put the vanilla.
Oh, so you talking
baking soda.
Okay.
Yes, the butter. You put this in the bowl yourself.
Ooh. Okay, so you're not talking about like when you go up in the cupboard, you open the cupboard up, there's like some boxes and stuff, whatever, that you can just open up the box.
No.
You're not talking about that.
We ain't talking about no box food.
Oh, there's a okay.
There's a difference.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
When we say scratch, we talking about scratch from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's some amazing food. And so I've started off on this journey where I'm going to be doing the cookies, and I want to say that there's probably 6 different kind of cookies that look at you. Yes. See, it's going to be 6 different kinds. And I've been like not on my mom. I'm like, Mom, it's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. I love your cookies, but you're always like giving the cookies away. And I remember there was a time that we were at, and this is when I was like, yes, it has to happen. We were at Walgreens over here in Portland, and I heard somebody like there was one aisle, and I heard somebody like kind of like Balinda. And then I was like looking around, and then she came up, and I was like, got the stands like, hey, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? You come running up on my mom. You got to hold on a second. Back on up. And then she was like, Balinda. And then I said, Mom, you know her? And then she was like, yeah. My mom turned around. She was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, man, do you got any of your cookies. You gotta hear those cookies. I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me I went into this protective stance mode for my mom and this about you needing some cookies? And I said, okay, well, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Which ones are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
And she said, hey, either one. I really like the oatmeal raisin.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I really like the oatmeal raisin. And she said, and the chocolate chip. But to be honest with you, whichever one your mom, whichever one you have, Belinda, that I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
Yes.
Those cookies have caused those cookies have caused family disputes. Those cookies, so we're gonna have fun.
You say, who ate the last cookie?
Who ate the cookie in the cookie jar?
Oh, wow.
Thank you, guys. It's been fun. We've had fun. Thank you for tuning in to What a Little Girl's Supposed to Do with LaShonti Turner and
Balinda Olive Beltran.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast, What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? Until next time.